Hello there, Taurus. Welcome to your mid-November 2016 tarot reading. So one of the first things that I am feeling here is that for some of you, you have somebody here that is kind of like coming into the picture, and I feel this is somebody that is very, very significant to you. Either a family member, a very significant boss that you look up to, a very close friend, even a lover. What I feel is like the energy between you and this person is very like diametrically opposed. So they have a lot of elements in potentially their chart that makes it so that, they challenge you, and the relationship has always been kind of tumultuous and challenging, okay? I feel like you're interacting with this person heavily, and I feel that this person is very, very intelligent. They are very inquisitive, and I feel like there is a strong sense where, they ask you a lot of questions, and I feel that you might even feel a little bit under attacked. And I feel like this person, like honestly, they're very inquisitive. They like to learn things. They like to, take things apart and figure out how things work, how all the pieces fit together. And they like to pick your brains. They like to see, your thoughts, your opinions, and, your expertise on how to do or how to work around a situation. But I feel like, the questions are coming at you very, very quickly. And I feel a lot of you might feel under pressure, might feel like they are criticizing you. But I don't feel it's an energy of criticism. It's more of an energy of like getting to know somebody, but they might do so in a more aggressive, in a more detached manner. So I feel like they're going to rub you the wrong way. So that's coming through for the next 2 weeks. What I feel as well is for some of you, and I feel like this is something from the past, okay? A lot of you might have been in a situation where somebody really hurt you in the past. And I do feel, you're no longer with this person, but I feel like the pain associated with the trauma associated with that is kind of coming back in for this month, for the next 2 weeks. And I feel like, in the past you thought that, oh, that was the one that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. That's the person, the man or the woman I'm going to marry. And I feel that relationship ended really, really horribly for both sides. And I feel for both sides. And I do sense that a lot of you are just still kind of like, it left a bitter taste in your mouth, I feel. So right now, I feel like for some of you, and this can go two ways, a lot of you kind of need to restore your self-esteem. A lot of you are still very, broken from that relationship where you trust people and you're generally, a trusting sign. But I feel that that situation was quite traumatic. So you're very overly cautious when approaching new people. And then for the other group of you that don't have that self-esteem issue or don't feel like you're, that situation really hurt your self-esteem. I do feel that you're either in a work environment or you're doing some type of work where you feel like you're not making money. So then your self-esteem is greatly tied in with, your public image, your career success, as well as how much money you're bringing home every month, every year. And I feel like for a lot of you, there's this, you're walking around with a little bit of a chip on your shoulders. And I feel that, compared to the people in your environment, your colleagues, your friends in your same age group, you feel that you're not making as much, okay? You feel like you're not as successful. You feel like you're not making as much. And I feel that, you might be a little bit sensitive to this issue where somebody that you care for, if they bring up, the money issues, I feel like, there's a tendency to get a little bit defensive. So I feel like this is something, if it sounds familiar, it's something that you want to figure out within yourself, because I feel like you're taking that energy and you're externalizing it, and you are like getting kind of like riled up or, defensive when it's approached, okay? Like when it's when somebody else asks you, what do you do for a living? How much do you make? And, that's a little bit of a, I think, a sore spot for some of you. For others, I feel that, you are keeping a very tight rein on your financial situation. So, a lot of people, they just make a lot of money. And as a result of it, they can afford to have a very, very kind of like, just extravagant lifestyle. And then for others, they're very, very good at, maintaining the money that they have. So that can be, cutting corners. That can be like putting on, like saving a lot of money, not spending a lot of it. And I feel like the ways in which you approach money for the next 2 weeks is going to be coming under question as you deal with another person that is potentially a lover, where you might need to, join up your resources. The way you spend, the way they spend, that is a source of contention. That is a source of conflict. I feel, Taurus, you are generally very, very good with money. You're very good with your finances. But I do feel that, I am seeing either you or your partner is a little bit extravagant, okay? And this is something I've also picked up for the monthly reading. So I feel like, the ways in which you both come together to spend money or to manage it, it's going to be a major source of contention for the next 2 weeks. I don't feel like it's problematic, but I definitely see income differential. One person earning a lot more, somebody earning a lot less, and, it's kind of like, and it filters or it leaks into, the power dynamics within the interaction between you and that person. So I feel somebody earning significantly more, somebody earning a lot less, and then that becomes like a self-esteem issue when you're dealing with another person. So keep that energy in check if it's coming from your end, and obviously if it's coming from theirs, keep that energy in check, okay? What I'm also feeling here is that there is this idea about, clinging on very, very tightly to the things that you believe in. And the things that you believe in might have been, indoctrinated since you were a child. It might have like been something that was passed down through the household that you grew up in. And then, as you progress through life, as you get older, as you mature, I feel that, these values were never questioned to see if they're still valid in this day and age, to see if they're still, passing that common sense test, to see if they're still even meaningful to this day and age. So I feel like a lot of stagnancy for some of you. I feel like you're clinging on to these ideologies, these beliefs, and then I feel that somebody's questioning you, like, why do you, believe in this? Tell me your point of view. And I feel that you haven't really taken the time to really question what you've believed in. And as a result, the other person's inquiries, you might rub you the wrong way. So if there is a tendency for defensiveness, just know that, it stems from somewhere. Maybe, I feel like the other person is not attacking you, but I feel that you might be taking things a little bit too personally, or it might rub a sore spot. And I feel that if it sounds familiar, if something is rubbing a sore spot within you and you really can't put a finger on it, I would say, go back to the source. Ask yourself these same questions and see what it is that you believe in. I do see, values, money, ideologies, clinging on very, very tightly to, the status quo, not wanting to venture out, not wanting to rock the boat, and not doing something because you feel like there's a sense of overwhelming censorship or stigmatization associated with, people in your environment telling you, no, that's unconventional. This is the way we've done things, since the beginning of time. So don't try to, be the odd man out and branch off and do something completely new. Because I feel like, especially for those who are a little bit older, I feel that you have been sitting on the sidelines nibbling at life, and you're not, like, your soul wants more. It wants more opportunities, it wants more risk, it wants more fun. And I feel that for a lot of you, you're going to need to do that, okay? And then for others, I feel like you're, very financially stable, you're on top of the world. You might be dealing with this energy where somebody is refusing against all odds to change, and you don't really know, you're kind of like at your wits end, and you don't know how to approach them. It could be like a father figure. I'm sensing a father figure, somebody who's a little bit rigid when it comes to their thinking. And so I feel like, family, especially family members or father figures. What I'm also sensing is that For a lot of you, there might have been a very recent career change, and you're kind of like still figuring out, is this the right thing to do? Should I go back to the thing I was doing in the past? I feel that the career change is a really, really good thing for you. For those of you who have shifted over to a new job or a new field altogether, I feel that it is really good. These self-doubts, naturally, they will always come in, and I do feel that you're on the right track. You might have to start over, when it comes to like career changes, starting from the bottom and then working your way up. But I do sense there is room for that. And I do feel that, do your job, do it diligently. You don't need to, get in the know with anybody. Networking is not going to be required, because I feel that once you do your job, you're going to be adequately like noticed and compensated, okay? What I'm also feeling for others of you, I feel that there is a major, I feel like a lot of just communication issues coming through, where somebody says something, you might take it the wrong way. Just be very careful about reading too much into it. Be careful about defensiveness. Be careful. I feel like you're gonna come into contact with another person from your past. It might have been like friends, family, but you're coming into contact with old people, and old people from your past, not like biologically old people. But I feel that wherever you were when you last met up, you're all at different points in your life right now. So I feel like you might notice we don't really have much in common. You might notice that their values are very different from yours. Their ideologies, their beliefs are very different from yours. So they're saying make peace. Make peace, okay? Just make peace with the fact that you all have grown apart, and you're meant to go your separate ways, okay? So I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a little bit of a weird two weeks, because I feel that everything is up in the air. Like the energy is very like it's very like unsettled. We also have, I believe, a full moon coming through in Taurus. So full moon exposes these deep-rooted feelings that we have repressed in the past. So just be very careful about I feel like just be very careful. Like, don't take other people's words as like an attack on the way you live, or your ideology, or the way you believe, or your value system. Just don't get defensive. I feel that these things are coming up so that we can examine, why do we feel so strongly about certain issues, so that we can either heal from them or learn or extract some insights from them, okay? So just be patient, all right, Taurus. I do wish you all the best. Enjoy your Thanksgiving for those who are celebrating, and I'll see you in December. Take care. Bye-bye.